I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My fans on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the resolve. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who we caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B, just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's your number one Chief Rockin' Knicks Universe, main man, Uncle Freezy, and welcome to the premier Knicks in the Morning Time show. And man, do I have a doozy of a show today. I'm running a little late because the research for this kind of put me behind some. I ain't even gonna front. I thought I could just grab a little bit of information and then jump up here. But then when I started cooking, man, golly, man. So let me first say thank you to everybody that's coming through and rocking with us. Salute to everybody on YouTube that's tuning in. Salute to y'all. I'm in a kind of a what you call a weird spot with my fandom, right? I'm in a weird spot with my fandom. I love the Knicks. I think the Knicks have a great roster. I really love what the front office is doing. Salute to my guy Rel. Rel, what's good, bro? Classic Man is in the building. Salute, Classic Man. Right. So I love the roster. I think the roster, for the most part, is perfect in NBA standards. Consider NBA standards, right? You have as perfect as a roster can be. You have your point guard of the future. You have your big man of the future. You have your wing players of the future. You drafted well, considering where you were drafting, and those players turned out to be really good players, right? Rel, we got to have a conversation about this Craven the Hunter, bro. Rel, we got to have this conversation about this Craven the Hunter thing. That's just a side note to my guy Rel from We Talk Mavs. Salute to We Talk Mavs and that passionate fan base over there. Salute to those guys. Rel, I started to call you last night. I'm just gonna say that. I'm gonna try to stay on topic, but I started to call you last night, bro. East Blue Drew is in the building. Salute. Right. East Blue Drew, what's good? So just staying on topic real quick before I lose focus, right? I'm really satisfied with what the front office is doing. I think the front office is doing an outstanding job. I think overall, E. Gibson is in the building. Trav, what's good? I think overall, the direction of the team is fantastic. I don't think you can draw it up much better. Cully, the Cully goat, is in the building. Salute. I don't see in a 5-year space, we went from questionable talent to what I believe is the most physically gifted roster in the NBA. Let me put it that way. It may not be the most skilled, right? But in terms of physically gifted, I think we have the most physically gifted roster in the NBA, right? In terms of that. There are a few pieces that I wish we had, but those are wishes and not needs. So what I wanted to do is speak, or what I'm gonna do is speak to my overall feeling as a Knicks fan after 26 games. Also going to speak to what this roster could look like if they do nothing, and what this roster could look like if they do something. Also, I'm going to rank and give a report card. I'm going to give a report card for some of the things that I've seen thus far. Right. And so one of the things that I want to I'm going to one of the things I'm going to grade is coaching. I want to grade coaching, right? And I'm not going to do it A, B, C, D. I'm not going to do that because you can't make a tally with that. So I'm going to give each spot a number grade, right? So I'm going to do a number grade on this. You might agree, you might not, right? This is Uncle Freezy doing it though, right? So the grades are going to be 1 through 10. We're going to put the average right here. Right? We're going to put the average right there. And then I'm going to base my standard, right? I'm going to put it right here, like standard NBA coach grade, right? To me, the standard NBA coach grade is about 4.1. That's my standard NBA coach grade. That's what you have to maintain in order to keep your job as an NBA coach. Right? That's what you have to. If you're not at least in this range between 4 and 4.5, you shouldn't be an NBA head coach. It's just plain and simple. Right? I practiced this, and I know that number seems arbitrary, right? Like, man, 4.1. What are you talking about, man? Where you get the number 4.1 from? So I practiced this already. I practiced this already. Right? So I practiced this already a number of times. I did. It's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit late today. I wanted to get here about 10 o'clock, and I kept pushing the time back and pushing the time back. And then I just set the time, and then I was like, you know what? If I'm late, I'm just going to be late. All right. So y'all just bear with me for a moment. Just dress this up a little bit. Now, mind you, these categories that I have listed, it's gonna list. Yo, Ivory 10 is in the building. Salute. Salute my brother, Ivory 10 in the building. Salute. So with the categories you see listed, like say for instance, challenges. It's not just about what they challenged, it's about what they didn't challenge, right? It's not about the act of challenging itself. It's about what they didn't challenge. It's about how they used their challenges, right? And so I'm just gonna do that with all of these. Like it's not just about one in-game adjustment. It's about all of the in-game adjustments that we recognize and the in-game adjustments that should have been made but were not. If you follow the pattern, it's about the game strategy coming into the game, right? The game strategy at the end of games, during games. Were there any innovations? Did we do something the league has never seen or the team we played against have not seen? Did we try new stuff? Did we try old stuff? Miguel P is in the building. Salute. Late game management. Did you execute X's and O's down the stretch to pull out a victory? Did you take out your starters too soon? And did the team come back? Did you leave your starters in too long in a blowout? All these things we're going to take into consideration, right? So I'm going to read the chat a little bit, but I'm not going to lie to you. I basically have my mind made up. I ain't even going to lie. I ain't even going to lie. It's because I researched it, not because I'm stubborn, but because I'm the opposite. And I looked into this stuff before I got here. Right. And I looked into this stuff before I got here, just researching, going over some things, replaying scenarios in my head. What could we have done here? What could we have done there better? Right. Did we overcome an obstacle? So I'm going to do the same thing for referee management, for roster management, right? And I'm talking about the coaches part. I'm not talking about the front office part here. Remember, this is the coaches grading chart, not anybody else. Right? The roster management, right? Did you play the kids in a blowout? Did you get the veterans off their feet in a blowout? Right? Did you play a guy 35 minutes, but did you play him 20 straight minutes? Whereas 35 minutes doesn't look bad, but you played him 25 straight minutes in a high leverage situation. So these are the things I'm going to consider. Now remember, the grading system is 1 through 10, right? 1, think about 1 is this guy is not an NBA coach. 10 is this guy is Red Auerbach. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So if you don't see a 10 or you don't see a 1, don't be alarmed. If you don't see a 2 and you don't see a 9, don't be alarmed. At the very end, if this ranks in that range of between 4 and 5, that's okay. Right? That's okay. That means the coach is basically a good NBA coach. Or you know what? I'll put it out here. Let me do this. 4 equals basic. 5 equals good. 6 equals great. When you're talking about 7, you're talking about all-time level coaches. So keep that in mind as you go forward, right? Keep this in mind as we do this, right? And we're going to have this. I'm just going to move this back a little bit. We're going to have this equal this plus 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 this. And then we're going to put zeros in here to start. So everybody got me, right? Everybody understand how I'm going to do this in fairness. I want to be fair to our coach. I'm not about to sit up here and throw our coach under the bus. Just want to tell y'all that off the rip. I'm not going to sit up here and throw our coach under the bus. That's not me. Will I have questions about decision making? Absolutely. Am I there? Am I present during the decision making process? Absolutely not. And so I am on the side of being fair to Coach Tom Thibodeau. Right. I'm not gonna bash Tibbs. That's not me. Shot Powers is in the building. Salute. Yo, East Blue Drew, you wild. You a wild man, bro. You a wild man. Yeah, you a wild man. So let me do one other thing I'm just gonna do really quickly. I'm just gonna break up the color scheme up here so it won't look so drab. I don't want our conversation to seem drabby. So let's add a little color to it, a little pop. There we are. All right. So y'all buckle up, get ready for a pretty intense show. Drip Moore's in the building. So the first thing we'll talk about, right, is challenges. The challenge thing with me and Tom Thibodeau is I can't figure out if he has everything under control or if he's clueless about challenges. I can't figure out if he's processing things at a super high level in real time or if he just don't know what's going on at the time. Is he Columbo, right? Does he give the appearance that he doesn't know what's going on, but really has everything under control, right? Dritmore says, yo, was at the game last night for my first Knicks win in person. Salute. Bruh, I wish I could have went. If I had known, I would have been there. The funny thing, the Dritmore, the funny thing is this. I was thinking about going to Orlando the week before that and canceled. I thought about going to Orlando the week after Thanksgiving. And then I canceled because my money wasn't right. And then I thought, like, when can I get to Orlando? Maybe January, February. And then I found out that the Knicks play Orlando on this day. And I'm like, I could have saved my money and just went down and we could have hung out, man. What? Dang, man. I wish I could have, man. I wish I could have caught y'all down there, man. I'm gonna get up with you at some point though. We are definitely gonna get up. East Blue Juice says, watch what Jeff Teague said about Tibbs coaching. He is hands down offense. Right. Right. So let me say this about Tibbs and the challenges right quick, just to get back on track a little bit. The son of the legend, Kerry Cox, is in the building. Mr. Vince is in the building. Salute. My things with Tibbs and challenges is at times I don't know what he is challenging, even when the broadcast is showing video evidence of the act that should or should not be challenged. Now, in my mind, right? In my mind, I like to use challenges strategically, right? And I'll give you an example. Say the other team is on an 8-0 run, right? And they score their 10th point on a charge block foul at the rim, right? What I'll do in that case is I'll challenge it. I'll challenge that charge block call, because what do you have to lose in that situation, right? If you lose it, they score the bucket anyway, right? But if you win the challenge, you take 2 points off the board and you get your team some rest as they sit through the challenge process, right? That's my mind. DSJ is in the building. Salute. What's good, bro? So in my mind, if a team goes on a run, and this is just one example, right? This is just one example. This is not the key example. This is just an example of how I would use a challenge in one situation, not all situations. Not all situations, just one situation. Right? Corey Lee is in the building. That's one situation. A team is going on a 8-0 run. We take a bad shot. They get the rebound. They push it down the floor. They go to the rim. It's a foul at the rim, a charge block call, and they have all the momentum. And so I'll use my challenge as a momentum stopper, right? Because you already in a real timeout. A real timeout is 2 minutes, right? Or however long the timeout, 5 minutes, whatever, however long the timeout is, right? We already know the officials are not going to be able to do a challenge in the amount of time that you get from a normal timeout. They take a long time, right? So in that moment, I'm going to challenge just to get my team a breather, right? Just to see if I can get something to go our way. And while the challenge is going on, my entire coaching staff is on the floor making corrections all over the place. And then if we win the challenge, right, then those 2 points come off the board. We might have the basketball, or they may overturn it and it might be a foul on them. So it goes from a blocking foul to a charge. We get the ball back. They have a foul on them, and we get to keep our challenge. That's just an example. Right? That's just an example. Now, my thing with Tom, now that's a Uncle Freezy example. That's mind you, I've never coached in the NBA, so my example means diddly poo. But that at least lets you know what my train of thought is. Can I use a challenge to benefit me on multiple fronts? Can I get an extended break where I can get my players off their feet? Right? Can I take points off the board? Right? Can I get something negative for them? That's how I use my challenges. Right? With Tom Thibodeau, I'm not gonna lie to you. I think there is good Tibbs and bad Tibbs when it comes to challenges. I think Tom Thibodeau is super reserved and disciplined when it comes to challenges. Not so with timeouts. I think Tom Thibodeau burns through timeouts as if they're peppermints, chewing gum. Right? Right. What I'm gonna say about Tibbs and the challenges, I think this is his blind spot. Of all the things on the screen, I think yeah, hey, so LI1 says, let me read. Why delete my comment 2022-24? It's been all the way up. What coach do? Y'all want 6 top down. Is it 6 in Knicks spot? I don't understand that comment. Hey, LI1, you got to rewrite that one, bro. Rewrite that one and put it back in the chat because I don't understand what you mean. I understand the why delete my comment part, but all the other stuff, it's just too much stuff going on, man. You got to rewrite that one and hurry up. and hurry up and rewrite it, bro, before we lose the essence of what you're saying. It's just too much. It's just too much stuff going on. I understand the why delete my comment part, right? And that's crazy. And if mine's the wrench is to protect us from people that violate YouTube guidelines. It's for trolls. It's not for you to flex in a case of differences of opinion. If you're using your wrench for differences of opinion, I ain't even gonna front. I'm just gonna remove the wrench from you. If you mad because somebody say something that you don't agree with, I'm just gonna remove the wrench from you. The wrench is to protect us from people that come in and violate our sanctity. Remember that. That's what the wrench is for. As a matter of fact, there were people that were coming in the other day that were trolling us, talking about giving us wieners and all that stuff, and no mod even. Remember, it's not about flexing. It's about us protecting each other, about us being safe to have a safe space, everybody. Even if they have a different opinion from you. LI1, where your comment at? The challenges part is, I think it's a blind spot for Tom Thibodeau. I think there are some times that there are foul calls on Karl Anthony Towns. He don't challenge. And then yesterday, y'all remember the absurdity yesterday? Remember when the game was basically in hand, 30 seconds left to go in the game, and Tom Thibodeau challenged the call? And we're like, why are you challenging the call right here? Everybody wants to go home. And Tom Thibodeau challenged, and even the announcers on both sides were saying, Tibbs is intense, man. Maybe he's trying to send a message. And in that moment, he shouldn't have been trying to send a message. In that moment, you already had a lot of people with a lot of minutes on their legs, and I know they hadn't played. Right. The Bronx in the building. Salute. Sorry, beat. Salute. Nick Yak is in the building. And Nick Yak says, the wrench gets out of control. I said someone's ridiculous comment was ridiculous and was time to. Yeah, see, we can't. Yeah, see, I'm gonna have to get a mod father to do that. I'm gonna have to get a mod father to do that because it's just too much for me to I can't do the show and do the mod stuff at the same time. So we're gonna have to get us a mod father to do that. Yeah, see how doing just talking about mods get you off track about talking about the content of the show. Respectfully, I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from. It's like not me tripping or anything like that, but it's easier for me to do the content and have the content be fire if that can be managed on its own or someone can manage that. On the challenges front, it's going to be hard for me to do, but until I understand better, I'm going to give Tom Thibodeau a 3 in the challenges category. Until I understand better what his mindset is for challenges, I got to give him a 3. The challenge yesterday at the end of the game legit had everyone scratching their head about why are you even challenging right here? Like, why are you even challenging with 30 seconds left to go in the game? And you're up by double digits. Like, somebody told me that Tom Thibodeau at times is playing 4D chess. I've never played 4D chess before. And so I'll admit I don't understand. But as somebody that played basketball at a high level and understand the fundamentals of basketball and how you manage people, I don't think you challenge with 30 seconds left to go in a game against a team that's depleted right? I don't think you do that. I think that that in that moment, both teams need to go their own ways, get off the floor. We got through a game healthy. They came in as a team that was injured, and they just like to get off the floor. Now is not the time to be trying to create new rivals. Why are you trying to create new rivals? So I'll give Tom Thibodeau a 3 on challenges. During the course of the season, I saw Jalen Brunson get whacked across the face. The Cade Cunningham foul where he ripped through and elbowed Mikal Bridges at the end of that game, and where Cade was trying to get teched up, and Tom Thibodeau didn't challenge that he just went with the foul on Mikal Bridges. When we saw Cade Cunningham initiate the contact and he didn't challenge, he just accepted it, made me think that I think of all the things on this list, I think the challenges will probably get him the lowest grade. Maybe. I'm going to leave that one there. The challenges thing is kind of a rock in my shoe. I wish we were um more innovative. Like every coach is going to have what they do best versus what they do not the best. Andios is in the building. Salute. Every coach is going to have what they do best and what they have a blind spot. I think of all of the criteria to be judged on, I think challenges may be Tom Thibodeau's weak spot, and not what he challenges all the time, but the lack of challenges to me, right? I think the lack of code, the Cade Cunningham one was egregious. You saw Cade. It's video evidence that Cade swung out wildly at Mikal Bridges, and instead of challenging that and getting it overturned so you can get the ball back, you went with it and berated the officials when you had a challenge. You had a challenge. Instead of berating the officials, and I think that's the game Josh Hart was ejected, right? Instead of berating the official, how about use your challenge? That's what you get them for. And oh, one other thing I meant to say, everybody, this is for the 2024-25 season, right? This is not for things that happened in the past, right? This is for this season. This is not how we feel about how Coach Tibbs coached last year or the year before. This is based on what we've seen thus far. Right. This is just what we've seen thus far for this year. Here is a sore spot for a lot of Knicks fans. In-game adjustments. So I have a grade that I have in mind for in-game adjustments. I want to know what you guys think about in-game adjustments. How does Tom Thibodeau adjust? How does Tom Thibodeau play chess in-game versus other coaches? Shotgun is in the building. Salute. When a coach makes an adjustment in game against us, how do you feel Tom Thibodeau makes adjustments to those adjustments. And not just in losses, everybody. Like let's not just look at it in the games that we lost. Just look at it from a broad spectrum, right? In games that we won, that we look great, did those adjustments um um help us be a better team in game? Don't just look at the losses and be mad, like angry that Tibbs didn't make the correct adjustment based on what he saw. Miguel P says in game 3. DSJ says in game adjustments 2. I think those are really harsh. I think those are really harsh. Now, do I agree that in game adjustments is not a 7? I agree. Andrew Collinger is in the building. Ed Walker is in the building. Salute. Hit him up. What's good? Collinger says Tibbs makes adjustments way too late. This is also a sore spot for me. Right. I'm not sore on coach now. It's just this is just happenstance that there are two topics in a row that are sore spots for me. So I'm not down on coach, even if that is like the maybe like the theme here. It's not. It's just two category randomly back to back sore topics for me is basically what that is. What evidence do y'all have that Tom Thibodeau makes adjustments too late? This is a sore spot for me. I'm gonna say that I'm gonna give this a 4. I'm gonna give that a 4. And I'm gonna base that on I think at times, and I think somebody else mentioned it in the chat. I think at times Tom Thibodeau may stick with his original game plan for too long. And I agree with that. I think Tibbs may stick with the game plan too long, and then that causes us to dig out of holes with a very short lineup in rotation. And I think that puts us behind the 8 ball some. And I also believe that if Tom Thibodeau's game plan is working in the first half, the coaches come out after halftime and destroy that, and we don't make halftime adjustments. Andrew Collins, yeah, I see that. We're in the virtual. Yeah, I see it. I'm not bashing Tom Thibodeau, y'all. I'm not bashing Tibbs. It's just happened that two categories back to back are maybe a certain tone. Maybe they're a certain tone. And so it just happens that the conversation is headed in that direction. The further we get into the conversation, I think you'll see this thing change. The in-game adjustments, I do see in-game adjustments, right? I do see at times in the game where if Jalen Brunson is guarding somebody, Tibbs will switch him off and put OG on him. I do see where Tibbs will tell Cat to stay home or send Josh. So I do see that there are in-game adjustments there. On defense, offensively, I think there is a very, very defensively in-game. I think defensively, the in-game adjustments are excellent. Let me just put it that way. Offensively, if the 5-out is not working, I don't see an in-game adjustment from Tom Thibodeau. Or I rarely see it. Let me put it that way. Offensively, if the three-pointer is not going, we stop shooting. I think somebody mentioned that in the chat that I think the Knicks took like 75 shots yesterday. Yeah, hit him. Hey, yeah, hit him up. It's not a bash fest, man. We not bashing Tibbs, right? This is not a bashing Tibbs thing, right? This is not what we here for. This is not what we here for. I'm not doing that. I think he's doing a serviceable job. Could we have more victories this season? Yes. Could we have less victories this season? Yes. For in-game adjustments, I probably should have split this into offense and defense. But if we did that, I probably would have gave offensive adjustments a 2 and defensive adjustments probably an 8. I think the defensive adjustments have been fantastic considering the injuries and personnel available. So 4 4 seems about right. Maybe 5. I don't know. Right now, I'm going to go with 4. Game strategy coming into a game strategy. I always felt like this was Tom Thibodeau's wheelhouse. Before the listen, I'm going to give Tom Thibodeau a 6 for that. Coming into the game, I don't think there are many people better than this. You rarely see a Tom Thibodeau game plan just be bad. You can see where it may be executed poorly, but it's never just what is this guy doing? In terms of game strategy, in terms of what goes on the whiteboard before we go out to play a team, I think this is 6. This could have even been 7, right? But I don't want to put Tom Thibodeau's preparation in a category with Red Auerbach, Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra. I don't want to put Tom Thibodeau's game planning in with Popovich, Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, like the all-time great coaches. I didn't want to put it in that category, but at the same time, man, it's really, really, when it comes to game strategy, I mean, I don't know if there are 5 coaches right now that are better than Coach Thibodeau. We always have the right thing to do. Is it executed all the time by the players? I can't say. In terms of innovation, I'm going to also give this a 6. I'm also going to give innovation a 6 for multiple reasons. Offensively, even though I think Tom Thibodeau dumbs down what he wants, I think it's innovative offensively. I think he dumbs it down by saying stuff like, the game will tell you what to do. You don't have to be a decision maker. Just read the game. The game will tell you what to do. You don't have to be a high level thinker out there. The game will tell you what to do. See, he'll say stuff like that, and then it's so dumbed down, and I think it's so dumbed down that I think it's one of those where you're like, it's a basic offense, right? And it's not basic. Before Cat arrived, we ran a high ball screen and roll offense with shooters adjusting to the level of the big defending the pick and roll, right? So if their big is up high, our 3-point shooters are on the wings. If their big is dropping step at a time towards the rim to prevent a layup, our 3-point shooters are in corners, right? And I know that's an oversimplification of complicated basketball maneuvers and such, but getting 2 feet into the paint, drawing the tag man out of the corner, kicking, springing it out to the corner for these type of things. When you look at them on the surface, they seem like basic basketball stuff. And then with the addition of, and I think they were, and I think they were going to 5 out anyway with Mikal Bridges and OG Ananobi and Julius Randle and Dante. I felt like that was the plan anyway, right? But when you add Karl Anthony Towns to the equation, now your 5 out offense is supercharged. Late game management, late game management, I'm gonna say is good. I'm not gonna say it's great. I'm gonna say late game management is good. I'm not gonna say it's great. Um, and what I mean by late game management, I always think 8 minutes and under, right? Fourth quarter, 8 minutes left to go. How do we execute? How good are we in the fourth quarter? 8 minutes or less. How good are we? 8 minutes or less. There are certain situations where some games are just out of control. There's nothing else. Can you sub certain guys? Like 8 minutes left to go in the game. Are you really looking for Pakham Dadier and Tyler Kolek to come in and give you some minutes? Nah. Right? Are you really late game situations? Are you looking to drag Huck Porty or Sims off the bench? Nah. Right? Nah. Do we feel like we can be better in late game situations? Absolutely. I think so. But at the same time, with injuries to so many people, I think Tibbs was doing the best he can. I honestly think he's done a great job with late game management. And what really sent this over the top for me, is when he subbed out Jalen Brunson, who was getting roasted on defense, for Deuce McBride, who was absolutely cooking on defense. And nobody on the team had anything bad to say about Tom Thibodeau going offense defense in that situation. Right? In terms of minutes distribution, this is going to be where I think y'all are going to say, I've lost it. In terms of minutes distribution, I want to give Tibbs a 6 on this one. Right? Because what I realized is even with juggling lineups and such, Tom Thibodeau has basically played the best player for the moment. right? The guys play a lot of minutes, but the alternative is, for instance, Cat plays a lot of minutes, right? The alternative is give the other night, Cat played 41 minutes. Do you play Cat 31 minutes and play Jericho Sims 10 minutes? No. No. Luke Skywalker Vision says, so basically the depth of the team is not the problem, not the coach. Thank you. Yeah, well, kinda. Kinda. Is there a wing player coming off the bench that can give Mikal, OG, and Josh a break? No. They all have to give each other a break. There is no fourth wing. There is no fourth wing. Right? There is no fourth wing, right? And then and so with that in mind, that puts you in a situation where if there is no fourth wing, that means you have to either go big or small. Right? With no wing coming off the bench, that means you have to bring Precious off the bench for Josh. And Precious, quite frankly, looks a bit slow. Precious looks like an NBA player getting into game shape coming off an injury. That's what Precious Achua looks like right now. Precious Achua looks like a player that missed a bunch of time coming back from injury that needs to get back in game shape, get his rhythm back. That's what Precious looks like. So when it comes to the minutes distribution part of it, if you're Tibbs, do you play Precious or do you play Deuce? You play Deuce. You play Deuce. You play Deuce more minutes. There are only 8 categories, y'all. There are not 12 categories. I don't know what I was thinking. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Roster management. This is a rock in my shoe right here, everybody. I ain't even go front. I could legit leave this as a 0 right here because I'm mad that Tibbs won't play Pacom Dadier. Right? But I know this is a 5. I know this is a 5. And the reason why is because Tom Thibodeau was playing without or coaching without 3 rotation players. The rock in my shoe is, why, Tom Thibodeau, are you not playing Pacom Dadier? Cox, you're right. You're absolutely right. Pacom is not ready. But the key word in that statement is ready, right? And so, with that said, ready for what? What is Pacom not ready for? What is Pacom not ready for? Is Pacom Dadier not ready to get a role? Like, hey, Lil Freezy, your role for the next 20 games is defending wing players on the second unit. That's it. That's your role. Your role is defending second unit wing players. I'm not asking you to create offense. I'm not asking you to play with the starters. I'm asking you to embrace a certain role, right? And that role is defending second unit wing players, period. That's your role. Can Pacom Dadier defend second unit wing players? That's it. I'm not asking you to do anything else. Right? I'm not asking Pacom Dadier to do anything else. Tyler Kolek, I'm not asking you to do anything else. If Tyler Kolek gets minutes, Tyler Kolek, all I'm asking you to do is score with that fringe third unit. That fringe third unit. Y'all know the unit where it's like Huck Porty, Dadier, Matt Ryan. I'm just asking you to score with that group of guys. That's it. That's what I'm asking Tyler Kolek to do. That's what I'm asking you to do. That's what I'm asking Tyler Kolek to do. Bro, you're the 4th point guard on a team that uses 3-point guards. So when you enter the game, your goal is to score. Referee management. This is where I think I'm split. Referee management. I think Tibbs does a terrible job at times and a great job at times. I can rank this somewhere between 1 and 10. The standing up all game thing bothers me. The constantly being on the back of the referee thing bothers me. But I got to give our guy some credit, right? He has not been thrown out of a game. I got to give my guy some credit. Outside of a few egregious games, Tom Thibodeau has managed the referees well. So, with that said, I'm going to give him a 5 here, and I think that's going to probably move him into the good category. Yep, about what I thought. So based on all the factors, all the stuff that we outlined and mentioned, based on all of that stuff that we talked about with Tibbs, Tom Thibodeau has been good. Tom Thibodeau has been good thus far. So what does that mean, everybody? If Tom Thibodeau has been good, the team is 16-10. We feel like they should be 20-6, or however the number comes out. We feel like they should be 19-7 or whatever the number. How did we get where we are? I got to get me a new camera, y'all. I got to get a new camera. I've been saying that for years. Like the camera position, y'all can't even see my pretty mug. It's like I'm looking this way. I need to fix this camera so y'all can see my beautiful face. I need to get it from up here. But yeah, Kerry, that's what I'm saying. So if the Knicks should be 19-7, and Tom Thibodeau has done a good job, what does that mean? Does that mean Knicks fans have unreasonable expectations? Do Knicks fans have unreasonable expectations? I'm going to grab a bottle of water real quick, everybody. Hold on. All right, I'm back. All right. So the thing is, if the Knicks should be 19-7 and Tom Thibodeau has done a fairly decent job, then where does who's to blame? Who's to blame? If the Knicks should be at a certain place and they're not at that place, the coach and the front office has done a decent job, then who's to blame? Chat, I'm just gonna y'all put the person that should be held accountable. Who's that person? Put that person's name in the chat. Put that person's name in the chat. Sherwin is in the building. Salute. If there is a person that should be blamed, put that person's name in the chat. I already know who y'all want to say. I already know y'all want to blame Cat. Blame Cat if you want to. Go ahead. Blame Cat. Y'all want to blame Carl Anthony Towns so bad. I could see it. I could see it in your face. Blame Carl Anthony Towns. Blame Cat. I know y'all want to. Go ahead and blame Cat, man. I see Josh Hart's name is in. I see Tibbs' name is in. Y'all gotta blame somebody. Blame Cat. Somebody blame something arbitrary. Blame something arbitrary like defense. Blame something arbitrary. The defense is to blame. Oh, East Blue Drew. I don't like it, but I respect it. I don't like it, but I respect the fact that East Blue Drew said Jalen Brunson. I don't like it, but I at least respect the fact that somebody is bold enough to state I'm not going to say unpopular, but a very new opinion. How about that? You the leader, you the captain. You're the captain, right? What are we being the captain of? The good times? We're the captain of good times, right? But not the captain of dicey times. We're Captain Crunch, but not Captain Phillips. Okay. And I'm saying this like sarcastically, like jokingly, because I don't blame Brunson, but I understand why somebody would blame Jalen Brunson. I don't like it, but I do respect the opinion. You're the captain, right? When you're the captain, you have to accept these responsibilities. captain from the back. I'm joking right there, right? I don't blame Brunson. I don't blame Brunson at all. But who do you blame? I don't think you blame anybody. I think we should maybe come to grips with maybe this team took a step backwards by trading Julius Randle. Maybe the team took a step backwards by trading Randle and Dante. Would the team perform better with Randle, Dante, and Mitchell Robinson here? Kerry, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Maybe if they started, maybe if they got rotation minutes, our defense would be better, right? (16-10) is not a bad record. It's only bad if you think you're as good as Cleveland and Boston. This is going to be a very complex conversation. Y'all buckle up. Randall, I agree with you. I agree with you. Right. But there are a number of narratives that exist that had their bubble burst, and now we're doubling down on burst bubbles, which makes zero sense. Nick Yak, I agree. Less free throws. You know what? Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns are getting leveled out there on the floor, and nothing is being called. Especially Brunson. Especially Brunson. Well, no, especially Cat at the rim, and especially Brunson in the paint. It's crazy. Real King is in the building. Let me start by doing this. We have a few days off. We don't play again until Thursday, right? We don't play again until Thursday. Let's do this. See, this is where I disagree. When you name a captain, bro, the blame does not get spread around. When you name a captain, the blame, when you name a leader, right? When you name a leader, blame does not get spread around. when you name someone the leader, they are responsible. And while I don't think it's fair, this is a part of life. When you are in charge, you take the responsibility. Is it fair to Jalen Brunson? No. But when Jalen Brunson said, "This is my team," when Jalen Brunson said, "This is my team," he assumed all of that. I didn't create the rules. I didn't make the rules. This is just how it works. This is just how it works. When you assume leadership, you assume everything that go with it. It's a part of it. It's just a part of it, man. I don't want to blame Jalen Brunson in a team sport. It's ridiculous. I don't want to blame one person in a team sport, but when you assume, when you become the leader, when you become the captain, when guys on the roster start getting moved because of you, diggity 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 dee. We got our own thing. Diggity 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 dee. When you become the leader, there is no "he did it." When you become the captain, there is no "oh, that was his fault." Right? When Mark Messier became the captain, the Rangers won championship in New York. When Derek Jeter became the captain, the Yankees won championships in New York. When Jalen Brunson became the captain, he did it. That's not my fault. Can't do that, bro. And I'm not saying that that's what happened. I'm not saying that that's what happened, because it's not fair. But when you the captain, you assume all that stuff. Yeah, that's my fault, man. I should have communicated that better. I went over and talked to the guys. I told them that I'll be better. Anybody in here ever been in a leadership position? Anybody in the chat ever been in a leadership position? Sherwin says the Yankees had the best team money combined, not the same with Brian. No, that's not true. That's not true. The Mets had the highest payroll the past 2 years. The Mets had the highest payroll the past 2 years. I know. I'm a Mets fan. It's not about that, bro. In team sports, it's not fair to blame guys or whatever, but at the same time, when you are the captain, all he had to do was turn it down. All Jalen Brunson had to do was like, nah, I don't want to be the captain. Right? When you if you didn't want to be the captain, you could just turn it down. I'm not saying any of this happened. And I'm not saying any of this happened. All I'm saying is that Jalen Brunson is the captain. Because trust me, if Karl Anthony Towns was the captain right now, y'all'd be killing Cat in here. If Julius Randle was the captain last year, y'all have been killing Julius Randle. If Mitchell Robinson would have been the captain since he was the longest tenured, y'all be killing Mitchell Robinson right now. How did he the captain? He always hurt. Y'all would be killing Mitchell Robinson right now if Mitch was the captain. If Mitchell Robinson was the captain, if Mitchell Robinson was the captain of this team, y'all would be killing Mitchell Robinson right now. If Anthony D was the captain, y'all'd be killing Anthony D right now. How Anthony D talking about he the captain and he just walk around like Marvin Gaye every day, sipping cognac. Y'all be like, if Anthony D was a captain, y'all be like, how that Marvin Gaye looking dude? And I'm telling y'all, man, I'm telling you, the captain thing to me is fair and not fair at the same time. I believe Jalen Brunson deserves zero blame for some of the stuff and some blame for some of the stuff. Fans are fans. LI1 fans are fans, bro. Basically, is what I'm saying. That's the reason why I'm saying you can't blame Brunson. That's why I'm saying you can't blame Brunson. Because fans are fans. You can't blame Brunson for a team being 16-10 through 26 games. You can't blame Jalen Brunson, bro. You just can't. But if Cat were the captain right now, if Cat were the captain right now, we'd be killing Cat. 20 rebounds. So what? He should have had 40. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think the blame is, and I'm gonna put this on the screen. And this is gonna be unpopular at first, but just hear me out on it. Right? I'm gonna put this on the screen, and it's gonna be very unpopular at first. But I just want y'all to bear with me on it, right? Just bear with me. I think this is where I think this is part of the blame. Can y'all see that? I'm gonna add a tinge of color to it. So it'll stand out better on the screen. This is where I think we have failings. The Knicks don't have an overall elite wing player. The Knicks don't have an overall elite wing player. They're elite. Our wings are elite at certain things on certain nights, but they're not overall elite every night. Some nights, Mikal Bridges' defense is elite and his offense is terrible. And some nights, OG Anunoby's defense is elite and his offense is terrible. Right? And if you look at the elite non-guard, non-centers in the NBA, they bring an elite presence to the floor every night. This is where I think we get cooked. And I know this is a sobering moment. Because y'all know I love Mikal Bridges. I think Mikal Bridges is this generation's Eddie Jones. Right? That's who I think he is. And for those that don't like Eddie Jones or never liked Eddie Jones, I'm sorry. I love Eddie Jones. And for those that think I undervalue OG Anunoby, I don't. OG Anunoby is my heartstring. Right? OG Pakam Dadier are my heartstrings on this team. And Kerry Cox says OG deserves to be on the list. If it was a top 30 list, OG would be on it. If it was a top 30 list, Mikal Bridges would be on it. But the players listed here are franchise players, bro. See, these guys, who are we gonna put OG on here and take off Devin Booker? These guys are elite guys that have carried franchises that were successful. If we put OG on the list, are we going to take off LeBron? Are we going to take off Paul George? Are we going to take off Franz Wagner? Franz Wagner is probably the closest guy to being moved off this list. Franz Wagner. Right? But can you say with a straight face that Mikal Bridges every night is better than Franz Wagner? can we say OG Anunoby is better than Jaylen Brown consistently? And I'm just comparing guys to like same height, same athleticism type of thing. I'm not just not picking random names. This is where I think we, in my opinion, I think this is where we may have overrated our roster some. I love OG Anunoby and I love Mikal Bridges. Right? And if this was a top 15, top 17, top 18 list, I could see including them. But this is not a top 15 list. It's 10 guys. OG is my heartstring. Yeah, I love OG. I love Pacom Dadier. I love McCown. I love wing players, man. I ain't gonna front. Yeah, I know I love wing players. Every conversation, I'm like, hey man, we need to get bigger. Every conversation we have, I'm like, yeah, we need more size at that position. So that's my bias. Like we need to get bigger, more athletic. That's always my stance. We need to get bigger, more athletic. Every conversation. Bigger, more athletic, bigger, more athletic. LI1, I wanted him in the draft over Quentin Grimes. I don't know. You were probably here, but you were probably here for my meltdown when we let Trey Murphy come off the board 2 spots ahead of us instead of trading up. And then we traded back to get Quentin Grimes. We traded Keon Ellis, the rights to Keon Ellis in like a second. Some weird calculator bullshit. You know what I'm saying? We trade, man, the Knicks have traded the rights to such and such player and a pick in 3027 for the rights to Quentin Grimes in a baloney basket shit. That thing make me it make me so mad, bro. I'm still mad about us not drafting Ryan Dunn. And now we need a Ryan Dunn. We're going to trade back. The Knicks have traded the such and such picks and the rights to such and such player to the such and such. Bro, that thing make me mad, bro. Like, why? We would have Trey Murphy blossoming under Tom Thibodeau right now. He would already be Luol Deng for us. He'd already be better than Luol Deng for us right now. But to stay on topic, I think the fact that OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges don't offer consistent offense on a nightly basis is the issue that we should blame. Now, should we blame the player for their lack of offensive consistency? Partially. Should we blame Tom Thibodeau for their lack of consistent offense? Partially. Should we blame the point guard for their lack of consistent offense on a nightly basis? Partially. If the Knicks existed in a world where Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges could all be consistent on offense from the start of a game and offer the same level of defense from the start of a game, then you would see the ship ride on more placid waters. Whose responsibility is that? It all lies on the player. The player takes the shot. The player takes the shot, right? The player takes the shot. But who gives them the opportunity? The point guard. Who gives them the opportunity? The coach. So if we feel like the player themselves are responsible for a large portion, the coach is right? How much does the point guard come into play? I need a basketball mind. I'm gonna ask this question, right? I'm gonna ask a basketball mind, not just a fan. I just need a basketball person, somebody that has played organized basketball, somebody who may have coached organized basketball, somebody that has maybe been around organized basketball. Is it Mikal Bridges or OG Anunoby's fault for their lack of consistent offense? I'm gonna look at the last box score to see, because it felt like OG Anunoby played offensively like a dog yesterday. Okay. Mikal Bridges was 7 of 11 for 17 points. OG Anunoby was 3 of 8 for 7 points yesterday. Mikal Bridges had 1 assist yesterday. OG Anunoby had 1 assist yesterday. Josh Hart was 5 of 9 for 12 points yesterday. Josh Hart had 5 assists yesterday. Is that something y'all okay with living with? OG Anunoby, 7 points. Mikal Bridges, 17 points. Josh Hart, 12 points. This hurt my heart a little bit. I don't even like talking about OG Anunoby like that. OG is my guy. So this hurt my heart a little bit. But I'm gonna say this about OG. OG, brother. OG, you've been in love with the Coco, bro. OG been in love with shooting that basketball, man. OG, we got to get you doing the things that you're good at. Going to the rim, finishing at the rim. We got to get OG back to that consistently, right? Because Josh Hart is not going to finish at the rim in a half-court set. It's just not. He's not going to do that. We need a big, strong athlete to finish off the ball, right? Cutting to the basket, dunking, finishing at the rim. Same thing with Mikal Bridges. We need big, strong athletes doing that. We can't have, because even though Josh is strong, Josh is not big. And some would say Josh is not really an explosive athlete. Is Josh a good athlete? Yes. Is he for his height, is he an Anthony Edwards type? No. I ain't even gonna say that. No. Is he a good athlete? Is he a fluid athlete? Yes. So when in my evaluation, the thing that is to blame, or the thing that needs, not to blame, but the thing that needs to be fixed, is a more consistent offensive Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and OG Anunoby. When those three are consistent offensively, y'all notice that this team can't be stopped. I got a lot more stuff. So I got a lot more stuff that I want to talk about, man, but I got to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. You know what? Maybe we'll continue this on the Knicks at Night podcast. Maybe we'll continue this on the Knicks at Night podcast, man. I have the point guard rankings. I have the center rankings. I have a lot of stuff that we can discuss. I have a lot of topics that we can discuss. The center rotation. Nick Yak, you were right about a certain thing. I didn't see it in the beginning. I see it now. I didn't see it in the beginning. I see it now. Nobody's perfect, right? I didn't see it in the beginning. I see it now. Sherwin. There are some things. Bro, we got to fix. We'll continue that on the Knicks at Night podcast, man. I got you. Trust. And so on the positive vibes thing, though, on the positive vibes thing, I ain't even gonna front. We got to win some big games. B, we got to win some big games. We got to, because vibes are only as good as the thing that creates the vibe. We got to start winning these big. We got to be representative in these big moments. We got to start being representative in these big moments. A vibe is only as good as the thing that creates the vibe itself. Like, what creates the vibe? Good stuff creates the good vibe. Right? I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Man, thank y'all for rocking. I'm gonna try to start the joint about 11 or so, 10, 11, something like that. Because there's a lot of stuff to talk about. A lot of stuff to talk about. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, y'all. There's a lot of stuff to talk about. The center rotation, man. But thank y'all for coming through and rocking. I appreciate y'all. Peace, everybody.